Sometimes, the loss that accompanies some deaths is so great such that it calls for national mourning. This aptly describes the great legend of Isiudo, Professor Emeritus Ichie Godwin Enwelu Onyemeke Ogum, who slept in the Lord on 14th July 2017. Born into the family of Mr. and Mrs. Mojeku and Mbafo Ogum, in 1943, Professor Ogum lived a purposeful and fulfilled life. Uchebuaku, as fondly called by his peers, hails from Unubi, a sprawling rustic community in Nnewi South local government area of Anambra State, located about 25 kilometers south of Onitsha.
Isiudo, Professor G.E.O. Ogum, nwafọ Unubi na ụdịdị Ichie. Onye a mmadụ siri obodo ya were nọta, were nnecha obodo ya anya, weta obodo ya dị, wee sinye adị ya n'uche na ọ ga-emegharị obodo, mekwene Unubi ka ọ dị ka ya etu obodo ndị ọzọ dị. Ya nwa mere ihe o ji hapụ ihe niile o nwere ike imene ma ọ bụ ihe ọ ga-arụ were godo Unubi ọrụ izizi ọ ga-arụ. O bidoro na mgbe ọ bịara na-akụzi na College of Education, bido na na-ewe ụmụaka Unubi na-etinye na College of Education, megidozirikwa na banyekwa na University, na-ekpokwa ụmụaka Unubi na-abanye na University. Ọ dịgidozie ọrụ obodo anyị dị n'aka ndị okenye. Ndị okenye ahụ ike agwụgwa na ha so much akọ ndị na-azụ ahịa wee nabata ebe a yọchara ya ayọ, were bido bụrụ chairman n'obodo. Ọ bụrụ nke a gara emegharịzi ya na-akpọzi ya President General.
For the 74 years he lived, his rugged tenacity of purpose propelled him from ordinary village boy to the pioneer deputy vice-chancellor of the prestigious Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka. According to Professor Benjamin Chuka Osisioma, in a review of an autobiography written by the late Ichie, Professor G.E.O. Ogum, titled From Grass to Grace, Professor Ogum remains a great enigma, casual, almost to the point of being nondescript, yet towering above his fellows and peers in every department of life. Never pushful or angling for top honors, yet honors and distinction found a way of seeking him out at every turn. Not religious or overly spiritual in his ways, yet he is a man of immense moral character, courage, and integrity. He always wears a distinct, disinterested look on his face, yet no detail ever escapes his attention. He firmly believes that the end of all education is moral character, and his life boldly testifies to this fact. Late Ichie, Professor Ogum, was therefore truly on point when he summed up his story in his autobiography as that of honesty, integrity, and service.
Isiudo was a man and a half. He lived above material acquisitions. He lived above the normal thing that will excite people of this climb. He lived above perfection. He lived above. He was always a standard above every measure he gave for himself. I'll share in Professor Oka Ezemo's words. He really was a man and a half. That's the man Isiudo is.
The Emeritus Professor of Statistics began his academic pilgrimage in January 1947 at Roman Catholic Mission, St. Patrick's School, Unubi. he faced rejection on his very first day at school, as he was considered not being sufficiently matured to enroll in school, since his right hand could not reach over his head to touch his left ear, being a requirement then to enroll in schools. But even at that early age, this young village lad learned never to take no for an answer. His mind was set on education, and no one could dissuade him from doing otherwise. His battle for academic distinction began from that early age, and since then, Uchebuaku never looked back. He enjoyed going to school, and his peak of subjects was a strange admixture of courses: arithmetic, catechism, and folklore. He was also a keen sportsman and a lover of football, high jump, pole vault, relay race, and snatch and go. However, barely 2 years after he commenced school, tragedy struck. He lost his father to the smallpox epidemic. His father's demise preceded a lot of hardship and challenges, but he did not give up on life. From the Roman Catholic school where he began his odyssey to the Ebenezer CMS school, he kept rising with the help of guidance from his mother, late Madam Mbafo Ogum, and his brother, Chief Levinus Okafor Enendu Ogum Omemboji, who filled the gaping void. Indeed, his mother was highly instrumental in imparting much of the values for which people admire Isiudo. Late Madam Mbafo Ogum, according to the late Isiudo, was a strong woman and strict disciplinarian. She inculcated in her children the core values of self-reliance and self-sufficiency, such that they had a yam barn that was the envy of many. She was also a trader who traded her wares in various markets all year round. She raised her children to have the basic necessities of life. Late Professor G.E.O. Ogum attended the New Bethel College, where he became a prize winner, a keen sportsman, and the recipient of the College Proficiency Certificate. After obtaining his WAEC and GCE, he had a short stint with the Nigerian Customs Service in Lagos before going further for studies at the University of Nigeria Nsukka, UNN. Armed with a BSc degree in mathematics, he proceeded to the University of Ghana, Legon, where he obtained his MSc in Demography and Population Studies. His work in demography remains a reference point at the institution and elsewhere. A recipient of a Population Council Fellowship in 1971, he later proceeded to the Johns Hopkins University, Baltimore, USA between September 1971 and July 1974, where he obtained his Doctorate of Science and returned to assume duties at the University of Nigeria Nsukka as a lecturer. In spite of time dedication to educational pursuit, late Professor G.E.O. Ogum still had time for love. He met and fell in love with his heartthrob, Lady Christy Nwamalubia Ogum, who passed on. The union produced 4 children: Chima, Oge, Amobi, and Nne. His wife, Omeniwai as fondly called, was indeed a missing rib of this noble kinsman. The final chapter of Isiudo's autobiography captures the brokenness and deep anguish of late Professor G.E.O. Ogum's over the transition of his wife of more than 40 years. In his words, he said, "Now I feel very empty and have to stumble through the remaining part of my life without the restraining as well as motivating influence of my dear wife. It will be tough."
Daddy lost more than half of him when mommy died. In his tribute, he said, I think his last paragraph, he said he will now try to leave, without the, I can't remember how he put it, but he made it clear that the remaining part of his life will be a big struggle without Omeni. I think Omeni's death reminded him, as he had always known, about the worthlessness, the vanity of this shell, the shell that houses the inner being. So you could see he started a gradual shutdown. The year after that, he managed to complete his autobiography, which was launched on October 1. I think that was his last major assignment. After that, he said to us that he's done all his assignments here. And you could see it's difficult, but you can't take it away from him. But the past 2.5 years for him was a gradual shutting down, which must have been occasioned by the loss of our mom.
During Mommy's illness, the thing really affected Daddy so much because there were times Mommy was away to the United States for many months. In fact, on one particular occasion, I think Christmas of 2013, or either 2012 or 2013, Mommy spent that Christmas in New Jersey. And that was the first Christmas. I can't remember whether that was Mommy or Daddy that told me that was the first Christmas they ever spent apart from each other in the 42 years of their marriage, 43, 44 years. So they were very close. They may not have been the typical, what we see now because of technology and social media, people post all sorts of things, hugging and holding, and they may not have been the typical romantic, but Daddy loved Mommy so much and loved us so much. Daddy was a committed family man. Where do I start from? Whenever Daddy comes back from work as a lecturer, around 3:34, he's always in the house. And as a parent, he gave us curfew for 7 p.m. It was not difficult to keep to it because he will always be home. He will lead by example. Even when he was DVC, if he had Senate meeting, he will tell us that today he's going to come back by so and so time. He will not just, you will not go with the normal day without knowing his whereabouts. We always knew where Daddy was.
Late Professor Ogum was always given the task of leadership, among which are head of Awka campus of Anambra State University of Science and Technology, ASUTEC, Deputy Provost at College of Education, Awka, and Deputy Vice Chancellor at the Anambra State University of Technology, ASUTEC, and Nnamdi Azikiwe University, UNIZIK. At the community level, he was President General, Unubi Development Union, UDU, Chairman of various committees, Regent of the town, one-time Igwe elect, and a ranking Ichie of Igwe's cabinet. To celebrate this selfless disposition, Unubi on 18th August 2011 gave a special award to people who have distinguished themselves in the area of community development. Professor Ogum brought his organizational abilities and strong capacity for mobilizing resources for the growth and development to bear on his native community. He carried everybody along in his style of governance, yet he never deferred to discipline if the need arises. His disarming candor and forthrightness would remain a rich legacy bequeathed to the emerging generation. Late Professor G.E.O. Ogum fought several battles, both at the community level and at the place of work, and always he was swayed by logic, reason, principles, and good conscience. He never applied underhand tactics, nor did he ever unfairly exploit the confidence and trust of colleagues. He respected even his foes and always insisted on conveying to them what is rightly due to them. Late Professor G.E.O. Ogum always stood on firm grounds of principles, values, and good character.
na-achọ ka anyị kpọpụta ha. Ọ bụghị m echeghị m ịgba ya itu ya afa bido tata gaba onye ọbụla bụ onye Unubi ma ndị na-eji maikrofon mgbe onye hụrụ ya n'ụzọ ihe a ga na-etu ya bụ Isiudo of Unubi.
Ndị Unubi were wepụta Chief Lawrence Mokiche ọ na Enugu ka obi na-eme kọntrakt mana ya were ezigbo mmadụ ndị mmadụ si na o nwere obi umeala nwee ịhụnanya n'ebe ndị obodo dị ewere họị ya were bụrụ Igwe Ochendo na-achị n'aha ọ zara Ochendo ka o ji chi udo anyị were chịsịa emechazie nye abụ n'ebe akwụkwọ na 1995 anyị mee last of Alai na 1996 na-atụzi anya ka a họpụta igwe ọzọ iji mee ka nsogbu ghara ịda na nhọpụta ahụ. Ndị obodo gbakọ were point ya mụnwa bụ Chief Prọfesọ G.E.O. Ogum as the regent n'onu oyibo mana ihe ọ pụtara bụ onye ka ji emegodu ka o ji ọkwa onye igwe ahụ until ahọpụta onye ga-abụ igwe. Arụkwara m ya 10 years were retire na 2006. Within 10 years o megara ụmụ ndọrọndọrọ na-apụta na anyị gba mbọ na-ebidasị ha akọwagodo ihe dị na ihe until ebe anyị ghọta ihe a na-ekwu na ebe a na-eje na ihe o jiri dị mkpa na-eji aghọta ihe na-eseghị okwu anya ka o rụziri ọhụ na 2011 anyị nwetazie igwe na anyị nwere kịta enye the title igwe ọhazirume of Unubi, reflecting the fact na enwere wide consultation. O meghị onye ji asị nya amaghị ihe a na-ekwu ma ọ bụ etu esi ekwu ya bụrụ onye ndị mmadụ nwere aṅụrị na ọya ka ha họpụtara.
Mgbe a na-achọ onye a ga-eji igwe n'Unubi bụ etiti na agwa ka ịhọpụta igwe na ha họpụtara ya mana o nwere ndị si n'ụdị ha bịa na ọha ji ahọpụta n'agbanyeghị na ogbe niile na-asa ya na n'akwụkwọ wee họọ ya ya sị kama ị na-eji abụrụ eze ọgbaghara adị n'obodo ndị so na ọha ga-ewere ihe na-ebute ọgụ n'obodo ọbụla particularly ndị ebe ndị obodo sanicha na akwụkwọ wepụta si na onye ha were onye ahụ nwere ike jebe kọt na sida akwụkwọ wetara ejere ndị jakpara osi adịdị anọ ọdịnya si na ihe ọbụla na-ebute ọgbaghara na ya adịghị anịnọmịrị ya ewechizie igwe chiri ebu nke echichara igwe ọfọ onye jikwara aka ejebe igwe dị congratulate dịka o si kwu n'isi mbido ihe ọ na-ada ka oji abụ ka oji abụ na-asa amala onye a na-enye senior na ya dịkwa redi isi onye ahụ rụọ ọrụ
afụtara m onye mere ka Ogum ka onye Chukwu sitere ezite na ihe niile oge anyị na-arụ ụlọ. Ọ ga-ebu ụzọ kụziere gị ihe ị ga-eme ma anyị nwe anyị na anyị na-arụ ụlọ. Buru ụzọ anyị a na-esoghị n'azụ. Ihe niile ọ na-atụgharị ya bụ etu ọ ga-asị dị mma bunye Unubi elu. Ihe ọrụ gara oge n'obodo enwebeghị usoro ha bụ iwu na-achị obodo. Ọ ya tụpụtara atụmatụ ya enwe iwu na-achị obodo. Ya tụpụtara atụmatụ ewere nwee usoro eji anụ nwaanyị na usoro eji akpọ ozu n'obodo a. Ya tụpụtara ihe ka mkpa obodo a ga-enwe bụ ka onwe ọkụ etikwe n'ọkụ n'ọchịchị ya. Ya nwa tụpụtakwara na ahịa be anyị dị mma ka ọ dị ka ihe akpọrọ ya were nwanyị. Ọnọdụ ka edemede edere ede arịa atụrụ atụ ka mụnwa rigoro mebezie emere afọ ya anya. Ihe niile lụrụ bụ ihe ọ tụchara n'arọ mbedozie rụba ya arụba na afọ ya anya. Ọdụ ka ahịa a m kwuru o bidoro ahịa mụnwa rụtọpụrụ ya. Ihe gbasara ọkụ nye nwa bidoro mụnwa meziri ka ọ gbasịa.
Ihe anyị ga-eme advice Unubi people bụ si were na nke anyị nọtọ n'isi for many years ka aha anyị ahụ na o nyere ha anyị aka. Ihe ọbụla a na-emezi kịta ịhụ na ihe mere na-ederi ede bụ nnukwu ihe onye ọbụla ji akwadosi ike n'ọnya ka ihe na unu ji na-eme jiri nwee nye m nnukwu mmasị. One na-edetere kịta anyị eji ha nọrọ ka metusara mgbe a chọrọ anyị afụgo ihe na unu na-achọ kịta ya ka hụrụ ebe a na-ajụta ajụjụ ya nke ha bụrụ na ọ gana jọsọ etu ndị mere before 1940 jiri wu anyị owuye na anyị maka ọ eziokwu iji anụ onye na-nara akpa ike 1920 onye na-nara akpa ike ndị na-ebe ederi ya nweghị ebe ederi ya.
Salute this quintessential scholar, mathematician, community leader, traditional chief, professor of professors, administrator extraordinaire, pillar of education, husband of one wife, and father of many children, and countless others who identify with this icon of knowledge, wisdom, and sagacity.
Isiudo Unubi, Professor G.E.O. Ogum. Woke marama, woko sisi adala omono nefesasia. Wadi ala kuchuku, woke marele tumuya. He was a disciplinarian. He talked less and acted more. Wonderful man. He loved his children so dearly that he provided so much for them. So early in life, he taught his children to know that education is the key. His wife's death got him devastated because of how much he loved her. He couldn't recover from that till his own demise.